can see Surf City, where this started a couple of minutes ago, things are improving for you as far as the trailing edge of the storm, but we are going to continue to see this as a potential. And again, we've been talking about this for a couple of days, that this is a serious situation that we need to keep an eye on. With this particular storm system, and then as we've gone through the last couple of days, it's continued to escalate. So that is something that you need to be on the alert for. Again, those of you right around Tar Landing Road, and those of you making your way to Old Folkestone Road, and then also it looks like right along Highway 210 and 172 and 17, all of these areas, you are seeing the potential of this system capable of producing a tornado. And again, we'll continue to see that information come in and updates. But what we do see at this particular moment is that this runs until 5:45 for Onslow County, mainly the central and southern parts of Onslow County. That's what we're looking at as a potential for this system making its way to the north. But again, the big concern right now continues to be the area that we're looking at as far as the storms are concerned, north of Holly Ridge now, making it up Highway 17. So do keep that in mind, especially along Access Road. Those of you in Dixon, it's pushing in on you fairly quickly. So Dixon Road, Range Road. Also, as you make your way to the north on 17, headed toward Verona, you need to keep in mind that this system will be on top of you quickly. If you live in those areas, be sure that you're taking cover. And again, at this particular time, you need to make sure you're finding a safe spot. Go back out and show you Onslow County again, kind of break it down for you. Running right along Highway 17 at this particular point. We're starting to see some of the heavier rain making it up toward Jacksonville. But again, what we're expecting here continues to be the potential of this storm system pushing to the north and at about 75 miles per hour, bringing the threat for tornadoes for this particular area of Onslow County. This tornado warning runs until 5:45. And I'm going to show you again what we're looking at this particular time. Grant Carlton also joining me here in the Weather Center. And Grant, you can feel free to jump in on this too here. The area that we're looking at continues to move to the north, but right to the west of Sneads Ferry is the one area that we were looking at that started out at Surf City. But again, this is pushing on to the north toward Jacksonville. And for those of you in Richlands and Maysville and on to the north into Jones County, you might want to keep that in mind. This is moving at 75 miles per hour. And Grant, at 75 miles per hour, it can get there in a very fast pace.
Yeah, this is a quick moving system that has moved ashore Onslow County. If you're just joining us, we do have a tornado warning for specifically southern Onslow County right now, but all the way up to Jacksonville, the 17 corridor there. This looks like a waterspout that has moved ashore, and we've been kind of tracking the big picture here, these cells, these storms just offshore that are trying to make it along our coastal communities. Then, of course, we have a line of storms off to our west. That is the squall line that could also have a tornado potential. So if you're joining us here, we do have this risk over the next few hours heading into the evening, so have a way to continue to get weather alerts. And again, we'll zoom into Onslow County where we have a tornado warning here that is moving north around 75 miles per hour. So like Donnie said, we're looking at the potential of a quick moving system. So even if you're in Jacksonville, it looks like it's a ways away, but it is still moving along that 17 corridor quickly at 75 miles per hour. And you could see just to the north of Holly Ridge along that 17 corridor, it looks like it's crossing right now. We have a red couplet and a pretty bright green couplet. That is the rotation that we're trying to see where that potential tornado could be. And again, that is just to the north of Holly Ridge, south of Folkestone there, south of Dixon, just to the southwest of Dixon. So if you are in, again, that polygon, or if you're in southern Onslow County, you're going to want to get to shelter, find an interior room, have a way to protect yourself here. And this goes until 6 p.m., which is almost 45, or that is the severe thunderstorm warning. This goes until 5:45 p.m., which is about 20 minutes away. So again, even though this is moving ashore, we do want you to stay aware here. If you are in this red polygon, the tornado warning that's in effect until 5:45 p.m. for Onslow County, it would certainly take shelter now. Let your loved ones know if they have not been alerted yet. And again, this is a tornado warning until 5:45 p.m. And we're looking at heavy rain associated with this. Not much lightning, but if you're seeing the heavy downpour, you are likely near the center of that rotation. But again, regardless, we're looking at a tornado warning for much of the southern half of Onslow County. So you're going to want to have a way to get inside, take shelter. And of course, if you have a basement, that would be the preferred place. If not, you could always go down to a interior room or a centermost bathroom, something like that. But again, we're trying to pinpoint where this rotation is. Pretty good rotation here, where you could see just to the north of Dixon and just to the northwest of Dixon, south of Verona, just now across that 17 corridor. And we'll put up the radar. Again, heavy rain with this. So this is where we are seeing the rotation. Again, just on the other side of 17 corridor here. But if you are in that polygon all the way up now north of Jacksonville here, just to the east of Richlands along that 17 corridor, you're going to want to get off the road, take shelter, and of course be prepared for this to quickly move to the northeast at, again, 75 miles per hour. This continues to move. If you look at just the past 15 minutes, how fast this is moving, it has already moved ashore and then is already riding up just to the south of that 17 corridor, south of Jacksonville. So again, a quick moving storm, and minutes matter here, even if you are well to the north of this red blob, this heavy rain where we're seeing this rotation. Just be prepared if you are in that polygon to take shelter. And regardless, we've been seeing very high wind gusts, especially since this afternoon as that squall line front nears. And we're going to continue to see wind gusts, regardless if you are out of this polygon here. This is a tornado warning if you're just joining us until 5:45 p.m. there in southern Onslow County along the 17 corridor. And we'll continue to keep you updated on that. That goes for about 20 more minutes. And I did want to pull out and just show one more time here the big picture. We're tracking a line of storms off to our west, and then that tornado warning, waterspouts that could potentially still move ashore ahead of this front. So Onslow County, Carteret County, Jones, Craven, all will have to be on the lookout. And Donnie's going to continue here to break down what is potentially in store for us and what we're seeing right now.
Well, again, and as you can see, this is the area that's the big concern. That is Onslow County. And if we could, Grant, let's slide down to the south here of our area, and we'll continue to see off of the South Carolina and North Carolina coast. We do have some of those storms that continue. Here's another severe thunderstorm warning right around Wilmington, south of that point out over the water. So as Grant mentions, we have to keep an eye on those as they make their way to the north. But this area right in here will head to the north. That's similar to what we saw here. Now back to Onslow County until 5:45. We have the tornado warning. It started down around Surf City, and you can see that the trailing edge of the polygon has been subtracted from there. And Sneads Ferry, it appears that you're right on the line now and starting to see improving conditions. But to those of you in Jacksonville, Verona, Dixon, as you make your way over to Piney Green, it looks like that you may certainly see the potential of this storm making it in. Now this is the area we're keeping the eye on, as Grant just mentioned, right now just to the west of Highway 17 between Dixon and Verona. So those of you in Verona, you need to take your precautions now, get into your safe place. Definitely something you need to do immediately, because this is moving at 75 miles per hour, so it can move in on the top of you fairly quickly. And again, that is just certainly something that you need to go ahead and take that advanced precautions to protect yourself. That includes a center room in your home, a bathroom would be great, and of course if you can get into the bathtub and cover yourself up, that even adds more protection. But please stay away from rooms with windows, because of the flying debris in the glass could certainly create a problem. But again, you can see what we're looking at here, the polygon, the red one, indicating the tornado warning until about 5:45. Let's go back into the area right around Dixon and get some of the roads for you that we talked about a couple of minutes ago. And again, you can see Highway 17 with this pushing off to the north, but some other areas to keep in mind. You can see Verona Loop Road here, also Steel Tower Road. This is just here south, and it's moving up toward Verona here. So again, right along Highway 17, CC Road, as you make your way on Highway 17 on to the north, it looks like right around Places such as Dawson Cabin Road, also Ragged Point Road. These are all areas where we're going to see the concern with this particular spot here pushing on to the north. So that means as you get on up closer to Jacksonville, you're going to see the potential of strong to severe activity with this. It could be a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. But again, that tornado warning runs until 5:45, and it's in Onslow County, and this is the area of main concern right now. But we told you just a couple of minutes ago, this was the area back near Surf City, and notice it is pushed on to the north at a fairly quick clip, and that's because it's moving at 70 to 75 miles per hour to the north. That's going to be certainly something that will impact people a little bit more north because of this situation. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for the areas in Onslow County near that thunderstorm. It runs to 5:45 as well, and we'll continue to see as we go through the next couple of hours. You see the highlight here in yellow, by the way, for our counties. That is the tornado watch that runs until 9 o'clock tonight. Right now it's for the southern part of the viewing area. Would not be surprised to see that extended just a little as we go. Big line back to the west. You can see running from Charleston all the way up to near Raleigh and then up into Virginia. That's the area where we're seeing, again, the next line or the trailing line that will be a major concern as it makes its way across the area before finally pushing off the coast. But again, for those of you that are anywhere in and around this area of the tornado warning, and again, that is in Onslow County right now until 5:45. This particular system has certainly has the capability of producing a tornado, and again, we're going to see this for about another 13 to 14 minutes unless it gets canceled early. But as you can see right now, we're still seeing a pretty good signature that we showed you a second ago on our velocity. That just basically tells you what we're looking at, the greens and the reds opposing each other, and that is certainly indicating that it is holding together and moving on to the north. And you can see that motion taking it from Sneads Ferry on up to Jacksonville, and it didn't take long to do so. But if we can go back and take a look inside the storm again and the area that we're looking at, just right in here, right along Highway 17, that's the area where we expect to see. In fact, notice how quickly this has moved on to the north up toward Jacksonville right now. So those of you in the southern part of Jacksonville, this could be pushing through, and you can see that this is the area that we're looking at. Anywhere in the circle that Grant just put on for you indicates where that we need to keep in mind that there certainly is the potential for danger. So you need to take precautions immediately, especially along Highway 17 headed up into Jacksonville. And if you're coming in from Piney Green or making your way from over towards Swansboro or areas like that, if you're headed west or you know somebody is headed west, you need to let them know the situation that they could be encountering over the next little bit. Curtis Road, and you can see Perimeter Street. Also, as you make your way up into Onslow Pines Road, right along Highway 17, and it looks like this is the particular area right in here where the most concern is at this particular time. You can see some of the brighter greens and the brighter reds indicating this is the particular area of concern headed up toward Creek School Road. And then we'll move into the southern part of Jacksonville the next couple of minutes because of the fast pace. But again, something you need to keep in mind as it makes its way past Jacksonville, places like Half Moon, Kellum on up into Maysville. This is all going to head in your direction as well. So to be on the alert for all of Onslow County, especially to the north. You also see the yellow. That's the severe thunderstorm warning until 5:45. And for the areas right now in the central part, the big concern is the tornado warning until 5:45. And again, Jacksonville, this is moving into your area. I was looking at the Jacksonville camera and showed you the winds on that at the start of our show. But since that camera has gone down, indicating it may have lost power to the camera. So we'd like to get that back up as this passes through. But as of right now, it appears that there's a power outage at the camera. Now, as you take a look, this northern area that I just mentioned, that's going to be the area that we'll keep an eye on as we go through the next couple of minutes because of the fact moving at 75 miles per hour. It's going to get into the northern parts of Onslow County. And even if the tornado warning is allowed to expire, and we see conditions actually diminish a little bit from the previous criteria we were seeing for a tornado, still, those of you in the southern part of Jones County will need to keep an eye on this particular storm as it moves to the north. Right now, you can see right around Perimeter Street up to Curtis Road, continuing on Onslow Pines Road and making it in toward Walton Store. What we're looking at here is an area that is of the major concern, or the pinpoint spot, if you will, for this particular storm. So again, I can't say enough to you to take precautions if you're in that area. Definitely, if you can get into a basement, that would be great. Not many basements in Eastern Carolina, but if you do have a basement, that's a place to be. Or if you get into the center of a building, and if you're in a multi-level building, go to the bottom floor and stay away from glass. That is the most important. This is headed off to the north, and again, you can see making its way on through Jacksonville, and we'll back that out a little bit maybe and show you the extent of what we're looking at here as far as the moving at 75 miles per hour and what that means to you whenever we put that, and you have to stretch this all the way up to 75 miles per hour. You can see it can get into some of these other counties fairly quickly as well. But again, for those of you in and around Jacksonville, you are in the bullseye right now for this particular storm that has the potential of producing a tornado. So we're going to run this tornado warning until 5:45, and this is the area. Let's go back into Onslow County, and again, you can see from Sneads Ferry up to Jacksonville, that's where we're in the heaviest rain in the storm right now. And we showed you a couple of minutes ago just south of Jacksonville is where we're seeing the storm. Those of you on up Highway 17, if you're headed up toward Jones County, or if you're headed on up toward Richlands out of Jacksonville, you're going to encounter some conditions there. But again, this is the one area that we've been watching. You see highlighted there. And Grant, we've been keeping an eye on this. It started all the way back at Surf City, but again, it's moving at a fairly quick clip, and this is going to continue to make it into the northern parts of Onslow County. So people in northern Onslow and into Jones County, really, Grant, shouldn't let their guard down.
Absolutely, yeah. And like Johnny just mentioned, 75 miles per hour is a quick moving system. We just got a new frame here as to where the rotation is at. And it moved ashore in about 20 minutes. It's already up to Jacksonville. So again, it's a quick moving system riding up along that 17 corridor. And you can see where the heavy precipitation is, where the tornado warning is. They've shifted it north now. So Sneads Ferry, you're no longer in it. But if you're along that 17 corridor, especially Jacksonville area right now, any suburbs along Jacksonville, along that 17 corridor, just to the east of Richlands, you're going to want to take shelter because this system is continuing to show some signs of circulation. And usually with water spouts, a lot of times they quickly fizzle out as they move onto shore. And thankfully, this has shown some signs of weakening, but there still is a couplet and there still is a tornado warning until 5:45 p.m. So do expect wind gusts that could be damaging, and do expect to take shelter if needed. And again, if you are in that polygon, the red polygon of the tornado warning, we'll zoom back out here and show you who is all in the warning right now. It pretty much is central Onslow County, 17 corridor, Jacksonville, now just to the north of Jacksonville here. We're going to look to see if we could see if there's any rotation now. Again, it's moving to 75 miles per hour, so with each radar frame, it's just going to be quickly moving to the north. And it does look like it's now moving just to the north of Jacksonville, along the end of 53 there, in between 258 Richlands and Deppy, there along 17, and just to the southwest of Maysville. So Donnie mentioned Jones County. If this continues past 5:45, we could see that tornado warning extended into Jones County. So again, if you're just joining us, we're looking at a tornado warning until 5:45 p.m. for central Onslow County. The system is moving quickly to the north at 75 miles per hour, and it originally was a waterspout. And I would like to zoom out here just a little bit out into the big picture. We'll turn off that yellow shaded area is a tornado watch until 9 p.m., 10 p.m. this evening. And here we have water spouts just offshore. So we have two kind of tornado threats here. You can see all the lightning here just to the south of Wilmington, south of Pender County, and Onslow County. And we've been tracking these water spouts that will continue to possibly move ashore. So Onslow County, don't let your guard down. Systems like this could continue over the next couple hours, even down East Carteret, Craven, Jones County. Again, we'll be on the lookout for some of these water spouts moving ashore where some of the better fuel is for some of these severe thunderstorms. Then, of course, big picture, this is a big storm. We have a cold front out to the west, and the squall line producing lots of lightning and severe storms as well. We've also seen flash flooding and tornado warnings with this. So as we zoom in, you could see that we will be on the lookout for another line of storms that could give us some tornadoes. But for right now, we're just tracking one waterspout that has moved ashore, Onslow County. If you're just joining us again, we have a tornado warning till 5:45 p.m. along the 17 corridor. Now looks to be north of Jacksonville, but still, Jacksonville still in the polygon. If you are in that polygon, you're going to want to take shelter, get to an interior room, and have a way to continue to get alerts so that you know when this warning expires. And
the area around Half Moon, that's where we're looking at right now, is where we are at Half Moon and making our way into the northern part there. But again, over to Richlands, and then as you continue east to Maysville, anywhere between those two as we move to the north, you can kind of make out just south of Half Moon. That's where we're seeing, and it looks like another little bright spot there near Kellum. So we need to keep an eye as we go through the next couple of hours. As you just mentioned, Grant, we have until 9 o'clock tonight a tornado watch, but we're going to see the potential for some of these storms pop up that could create a tornado, and that's what that line that you just mentioned back to the west. It's nearing Raleigh right now, but it continues all the way down to Charleston, South Carolina, and that's the area that we continue to see the concern with. And again, you can see all of the thunderstorm warnings with that, and it will continue to push to the east, that line. So we have two things going on here. The line is pushing to the east, but these storms are riding northeast, and you see another tornado warning just popped up in Virginia. So, and then we have this area that is just off of Oak Island, as you can see, down south of Wilmington. That's an area of concern that we'll need to keep an eye on. But for the next couple of minutes, it's 5:41. We have about 4 minutes left in this tornado warning that runs until 5:45. And again, for those of you even north into the northern parts of Onslow County and into Jones County, you need to keep an eye on this as it makes its way into your area. And if you encounter threatening conditions, be sure to take your safety precautions, because that is very important. And Grant, as we mentioned a couple of minutes ago, any way that you can protect yourself is what you need to do in these particular systems.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing wrong with using an interior room, bathroom, hallway, anything away from windows. And that kind of goes for anybody that is experiencing these wind gusts. Like Donnie mentioned, we're looking at that line off to the west, but we're really in the heightened impacts here over the next couple hours, really up until about 10 p.m., say, as that front pushes through. And aside from this tornado warning here, we are seeing strong wind gusts. Just to put up the wind gusts here, these are actually sustained wind speeds. So we're seeing wind gusts well over these numbers here. We're seeing sustained winds at 30 miles per hour there in Kinston. So regardless if you are in this storm or not, you are certainly going to want to watch out for damaging winds for the rest of the evening here that will only continue to ramp up over the next hour or two. Again, we could see nearly 70 mile per hour wind gusts, especially along the coast. And it doesn't need to be a tornado for that to cause damages, power outages, or some downed tree limbs. So again, do stay weather aware here over the next few hours as we're heading into the heightened risk. But one more time, we have a few more minutes on this tornado warning. We'll see if they continue it or not, and we will continue to keep you updated. It is looking like that they did drop the tornado warning for Onslow County. Thankfully, this waterspout has shown signs of less rotation. And Donnie will continue to keep them updated.
Well, certainly we'll be updating you. And again, this particular system, according to the National Weather Service, and sometimes what happens is when they actually go in and they, instead of canceling it, they will expire, it does not go off of the screen, so therefore you'll see that there for a couple more minutes. But this has weakened as such. But again, those of you in Jones County, you need to keep an eye on that. And I'm going to back out here and show you just one more big picture here of what we're looking at, and then we'll get over to Tyler here in a second. But you can see that we do have still quite a bit of activity back to the west, as you can see, making your way into Raleigh in the next couple of minutes, and that continues all the way down to just north of Florence, South Carolina. We're going to continue with our coverage of the weather, and we'll be back with more coming up in just a couple of minutes.